Oh, can you all hear me? Cool. Okay, I've totally just lost my volume. All right, I think it is there. Hey, struck by lightning. How are you doing? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Um, gosh, today is a great day, Saturday. However, I've got a new possible lot of bitching to do here about the medical industry in our wonderful state of California and what I've been going through because I recently, which is what brought this about, is some of the real whatever. But I was in the hospital and I have a severe foot problem right now. And as I'm in there, I'm watching them treat this lady really, really bad. And oh, hey, unusual, how you doing? Welcome in. Um, but I just advised her on what she should do to get around what they were giving her, and I was told that they could ban me permanently from the hospital. So, and I'm not allowed to go and talk to them because of HIPAA violations. Well, again, these don't apply to me. I mean, these people are really insane. YouTube, how you doing? Good to have you in. These don't apply to me or anyone else. If you walk into a hospital, you don't work for them. HEPA only applies for people working at the place at the facility, giving away the information. So you can be as what I am now, becoming a patient advocate. So anyone out there, really, this is the gist of this is going to be that I am becoming now a patient advocate. There's a lot of things out there that I have had to go through in the last 3 years with my health the way it is, and having renal failure, and going through the entire process of trying to put myself on a kidney transplant list, and going through the whole nonsense of dialysis, which I'm in the process of doing right now. Swaggin 77, good to see you. Um, I have learned that even though my lifespan is getting shorter, I now have the ability to help other people that are going through this nightmare. And I'm not just talking about the stuff in the hospitals. I'm talking about getting the approvals for your because of what has been going on. Unfortunately for me, I have had no choice but to literally condition myself and learn how to do all this by myself. I am very happy to say that I was a lot sicker than I thought would, originally in thought, and I am now walking again. Though I am very happy that I'm walking again. So I've had to do everything myself. So I thought what I would do is turn around and start telling other people exactly what they need to do and how they could go to fix their things as well. So this is really not a I don't know. It's a general just talk show because I'm going to start doing my shows more. It's been hard getting back. Like I said, we have attempted several times to come back, and then the health turned around and went back south. Um, but dialysis is getting under control right now. I'm not worried. It is what it is. It's I am right now. They're getting it under control, but my renal failure is one of those things where there's a balance between complete, where it just it has to work a certain amount in order for you to sustain your life, or you need a transplant. Of course, the end goal would be to get a transplant, but no, so you don't have to go through dialysis. But anyway, so that's all. That's all basically what I'm going through. But as for the health industry, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to go over the transportation right now. This fucking cluster screw, which these people are doing to you and us, is with our taxpayer dollars, and how we are being raped over the coals with this nonsense. See, they allow these companies right now because of the way it's been set up in our structure. Because remember now, it used to start a long time ago. You would get Medicare. You get Medicare, and from Medicare, you would, if you were poor or something, you get Medi-Cal, the two of them together. They started to increase these programs in the early 90s because in the 80s you had the ability to pay programs throughout the hospitals, and they had to set up their own private insurances and stuff. This stuff set in. But now, because of the influx of people coming in and stuff, we are forced to come up with even more micromanagement of these systems. So it gets very confusing for people. So if you have family members, the one thing you want to make sure when they go into a hospital is you have an advocate with them. You have someone that's going to be there with them, because right now it's not. The hospitals are way too congested, and it's getting way too ridiculous in there. Now, I've spent the better part of 4 years in and out, and I know they know me. This is how ridiculous it is. They know me at the emergency rooms around here because I've been rushed there several times. Um, the amount of people and congestion and stuff that goes on in these places, and the lack of proper care, because, and not because, but is due in a lot of part because people don't understand what they need to do when they get there, or if they bring a patient. That I really seriously think they should invest in putting out a patient handbook. But it's just, that'd be too smart, because there are a few hospitals like Kaiser tried this once, where they have a chart that tells you exactly what's going on and who's doing what and what needs to be done. You can go online and it will update you as they go along. A lot of these places are offering that, which is something that really needs to be done. But a lot of the people that come in there to these places, like I tried pointing out, don't necessarily have access to a computer or any internet or anything that allows them to go do that. Now, I'll give an example, like with the transports. Dialysis is a big money maker. I can't even begin to fathom to tell you how much money is made in dialysis. Every time they take me, it's $11,875. That's how much for every time I go. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's how much you pay for me to go every week, times four every month. Now, this is a racket. It's an ops downright racket. I mean, it's like, because now what you need is, because dialysis is life threatening. The micromanagement companies, like, instead of like Molina will step in, or IHEP, or one of these programs from Walmart or whatever the hell it is, they step in as an add-on to your already Medicare to help you manage that, because of the massive amount of approvals and stuff. Now, mind you, you're just at step one, because now once you get these idiots in there, you have to go for someone like, now that they, because of what's going on in California right now, because of the massive influx and our money's being depleted. They are bringing a company called Regal in. Now, Regal manages your top program like Molina or IHEP, and they in turn help regulate your Medicare or Medi-Cal, which regulates your providers and stuff down the line like that. And in the middle of all this, they have what is known as healthcare evaluators. Molina has one, Regal has one, and Medicare has one. So they all send these evaluators over to you, the health, And then there's the pill teams. These people have pill teams, literally pill teams. They'll call you up and they regulate and manage your pills. So all of this stuff built up, man, is a lot of people go in there, they end up not getting the right prescriptions, and what's even more deadly is that if you do have problems and you go into multiple emergency rooms like I have, these fools will start giving you prescriptions. And because you've got massive different companies out there that are trying, like I just said, that are trying to step in and help you manage your medicine, you'll start getting double orders. This is really good, because it's a con. It's a flat out con. Because mind you, once they give you the prescription, you cannot return the prescription, or it cannot be canceled. That automatically gets filled the minute it's put through with the doctors, because the approval comes before they put it out. Do you understand how that works? So if a doctor from this hospital goes, I need him to have blah, 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 then it is already approved by Medicare. It's already paid, and the prescription goes in. But then they realize, well, wait a minute, he don't really need that because we already sent it. Oh, okay, we'll cancel it. It doesn't cancel your bill. So I'm just, the massive amount of stupidity that goes on. So what you need to do when it comes in gear to them, and I have a lot of stuff to tell you. I can tell you about how to handle that. That's why I want to be an advocate. I can help people now. Anyone that's getting tied up in the medical industry, starting to go for disability or something, having problems getting their medical supplies, I have plenty of fucking time because I found out one of the ways of fighting these people, one of the ways of solving these and helping people is nonstop calling and stuff on the phone, literally being like an agent. I am an agent, man. I get on that phone, I'm all over that shit. They try very hard not to give you, because you got to understand some of these companies. Like I'll give you a walkthrough example right now. This company Valero or Valero Home Health, they own their own air tanks. All right, they own the air tanks. So when you get set up with them when you're coming out of the hospital from wherever, the nursing home after you come from a massive procedure or whatever, you're going home, they automatically install a home health plan. Now that goes by whatever plan you have, like either IHEP or Molina, and that also has to be triple approved by Regal. You know, micromanaging your money. So they send these people over. Now these people own the air tanks. Okay. Now this may not seem like a lot, but think about what I'm going to about to say here. They own those air tanks. So when I'm on air for my doctor, which by the way, you have to go to your doctor to get a prescription. Now here, this procedure is very important because they use this to tie you up and boggle you down from getting what is known as a POC unit, which is, if you've seen on commercials, it's called an Indigen. It's a portable air device. Now, right now, they don't want you to have those. They really don't. They do not, because the home health company owns the air units, the big air tanks, the ones you have to lug around like you're, in the middle of a war or something. Very inconvenient. Can't use it if you can't walk and you need both hands for your walker. It's very insane. They're just ridiculous. But what they will do is, because there is no money, seriously, the amount of money they make from storing those things, from picking them up, delivering them, filling them, and re-renting them to you is massive compared to what they will get if they rent you an Indigen, which is diddly squat to them because they don't do anything for you. So they lose all that income on their wonderful air tanks. You have to keep this stuff in mind. Now, knowing that allows you a little bit more ammo now to protect yourself against this nightmare which is going on. And if you're trying to get the walker, you must understand the way the insurance companies regulate this, and both IHEP, both Molina, and the other ones, most of them do. I've checked it in, including Regal. You have to go through a certain procedure to get these things. One, an air tank requires you to get a breathing prescription from your primary doctor, and he has to get the approval from your lung doctor. Right now, once you get that, now you're all set with that, and you're at your primary. That gives you the ability to get an air tank. But what it won't do is it won't allow you to get an Indigen, because Indigens are considered different. You need a second office visit and a second prescription. And keep in mind, the prescriptions are only good for 30 days. So that starts a little clock with these people, because you have to go in physically to have your doctor give the prescription. And then you have to have that thing turned over to the company, and you have to back follow them to make sure. Now, once all those dots and I's are crossed, once you do all that, make sure on the papers that you send in, and here's the thing that they hope that you won't realize, you have to indicate that you want both pulse and steady air, because they'll send the paperwork back, and you'll have to go into your doctor again, literally, into your doctor again, get the thing in a doctor visit, because you can't do it over the phone, get the person, and then get him to do it again so that you can get within that 90 days to see that they know this. And that causes you, of course, the prescription to expire, and you have to start all over again. So basically what you want to do from the get-go is you tell your doctor exactly what it has to be. You tell them, I need 2 prescriptions. I need you to make sure that the prescription on the POC unit is both pulse and steady. It doesn't matter. And then make sure they know this when you send it through, and then that will help transfer it through. It took me 1 year to get my POC unit, 1 year with the delays and the redoing the going in because now, mind you, I couldn't walk. And when I first started this, I was in a gurney. I'm now in a wheelchair, and now I'm a wheelchair assist. So as I get better with my legs and stuff to walk, which is taking a lot longer than I thought, but I'm doing it myself, so I'm good. I'm happy with this progress. Yesterday, I walked completely across the backyard to the front of the building, which is, I think, 400 feet, so I'm good. I'm going to start good enough to be able to stand up and go out and do things. So, in the meanwhile, I've been doing this, helping people with medical stuff. Anyway, this show is that's what this is all about. I mean, like I didn't think anyone would really come in today at all, but I don't know if this is really one of those issues that a lot of people give theory to. But I'm gonna have a couple of these shows where I go over this medical stuff to help people, and I'm sure if I find anybody out there that needs help, I'd be more than willing to do the work with them as well to help them now, especially if you're in the Riverside or area of California because of the way California insurance is doing this right now and what they've the nightmare that they have caused us with their micromanaging and stuff. And I mean, I've collected this stuff. Now, one of the things I did was because you have the legal right to have your bill, you literally, you just got to keep up on them until they finally do it. And then they'll start sending you itemized copies of all your bills so you can see where you're being charged. It's ridiculous. That's how I can tell you exactly how much I it costs for me to go to dialysis. When they take the blood out and they clean it, they have to put your vitamins back in, and they use this vitamin pack, which is about $2,500 for this IV vitamin pack they add to the dialysis treatment. I mean, and this used to be done in glass, which was incredible because of you have to understand the amount of work that's done with glass because you have to take all that glass down again and sterilize it. Instead, now they just use tubings. $300 of the bill goes to those tubings, and it's just the biggest waste of plastic you people will ever see in your entire life. Which is why when people talk about going green and stop using plastic, you can never do that. Sorry, but for the majority, maybe, but for anything medical, so many medical advancements were made with plastic that you cannot replace. Glass is just too cumbersome. Needles, syringe, everything is plastic now in the medical industry. It's insane. If you were to try to get rid of plastic, well, shit. I mean, glass itself is no. It would even increase the cost of the procedures even more because well, you think about it. They would have to sterilize all the glass tubing that transfers your blood out of your body into the tube pulses. But like I said, they don't care. What I'm on here for is to try to get started. My like I was out there, let people know that I want to do this advocate thing now. That if I can be any help, because I did this in Vegas when I was helping my mother when she was trapped, and I actually set up the book in the area I lived in Vegas and Carson for health plans and stuff because they didn't have one. And the resources to actually put it together at the time. And well, I had spent months and months doing it. And that's the way I would look at this. So if you're in California, with most of the stuff in California, but your insurances follow basically the same thing. I mean, if give me a copy of your insurance, I could probably swift through it no matter what state you're in and tell you what but I'm just more knowledgeable of California stuff because of because of what's going on here. Now, mind you, we this state is probably one of the worst for health care. It largely in part to do with the massive influx of illegal aliens coming in here, and we are supporting them, financially healthy and that stuff. Well, our resources have been taxed out the ass because before they even opened up the border and did that, we already had a massive homeless problem here in LA. And when people wonder why that is, and yeah, it's the cost of living. These areas out here in California are warm. I mean, and they're not blistering hot. Like you don't get a massive homeless population in Arizona or in Vegas. You get them, yes, they're there, and there's numbers, but they're not massive because the heat's too much for them to live in. So they migrate to a place that's weather is better, and that's California. So California has just been destroyed, literally and utterly destroyed. And they're trying desperately with their little games to micromanage every fucking thing you do. And I mean, just think about it, guys. I mean, Medicare now has Advantage programs, and people like Molina and IHEP stepping on top of them to help regulate them. And then Regal steps on top of them to regulate them. And then you've got these health net organizations out here that come around and they have to evaluate you once hire to do this nonsensical fucking bullshit so each one of these maggots can mail out letterheads and shit that spent millions and then you cannot afford to take care of people. You're full of shit. You're just full of fucking shit. You people are, and I told this thing, I don't need them to be my friends, people. I went down there. This guy says, you're not very, he says, you're not really very nice. You're not going to be my friend. I'm like, your friend? You're my fucking doctor, dude. I really don't care. I don't like you. I don't care if you like me. Dude, what the fuck do I care if you like me for? What is that what you came in this building to like me? You came in this building to do a job. How about you just do your job, Tonto, and not worry about everything else? These people are overworked, overstressed, and completely fucking screwed. And they are going to do, and then when you get in there, they'll take that shit out on you unless you stand up for yourself. And another thing, you got to be careful. It depends on when the fuck time you go, man. Like, okay, let's say you want to go at night, for example. You think, oh, I'm gonna fuck flow in there at night, and everything's just gonna be tasty. Well, you know what nighttime is in emergency rooms? Here, dude, I have it just cut me right off and put me. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry about that. I totally lost my train of thought now, but you know, I can't believe this thing cut me the fuck off. But anyway, so I don't remember what I was. Shit, I got so frustrated trying to get back in. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. But you guys can hear me now, so I'm back on. That's great. So, and if you get in these places, guys, and they're crowded and stuff, it's real easy for them to step on you and to step on the people around you. Even the doctors, whether they want to be nice to you or not, that's not the point. They're overworked, and we know they're overworked. And this whole thing with COVID, I mean, whether you want to agree with it or not, a bunch of fucking bullshit. They ended up letting all these people go. A lot of doctors quit because they didn't want to get the vaccination shot. So what you have now in California is not only a massive influx of people needing medical attention, but you have a massive fucking exodus of the doctors and stuff. So, what was the answer to this nightmare? What they decided to do, people, is micromanage it and start pushing people out of the fucking emergency rooms and the hospitals, like, early, and take them over to advanced nursing care centers. Now, I can't begin to tell you the nightmare that this is presented and what these fools are. See, an advanced nursing home, by the way, just to let you know, since a lot of these nurses and stuff, they're starting to not get nurses that are RNs from schools. They go to school, they become a nurse, they get out. No, 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 no. They're getting these nurses from trade schools. Now, I know people are like, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is because a lot of these people don't have social interaction. You go to college, you meet people, meet a lot of people, you learn to get to adapt, and then that's the whole point. You're around other fucking people. You get empathy. You learn things. When you go to a trade school, you're around anybody else that wants to do the same fucking thing that you do. And whether you think you're good or not, all you do is learn the trade. You don't learn people skills. So influx 18 to 25-year-olds who are running these advanced nursing care centers, and then I unfortunately lived at those places for over 3 years. So I got to listen to the babbling of these ridiculous people outside in the nursing desk about how they couldn't stand their patients and how disgusting we were and nasty they were, and oh my god, did you see this fool? Totally making fun of me, littling him and berating him and going on and on and on like it was all fucking K. Just having a good old time at their expense. Now, mind you, these people are sick and they're in an advanced nursing home, not because they're retarded necessarily, but because they're sick. They've got, and they need steady around the clock care, which the hospital can no longer provide because we don't have the proper healthcare system nor the money to do so. So they stick you into these half-ass places, and these places are only concerned and interested in one thing: processing you through like you're cattle. So if you are a family member and you decide you don't want to visit your family member, you're an ass. Because that person's going to be subjected to probably, I mean, seriously, think about this. They'll put you in a room with three other guys or three other people curtained in. So you're in a 5x5 curtained area. Now, that means that the guy next to you could be a complete fucking psycho, and I've had all of them. One guy was screamed wildly all the time because he was having withdrawals from the massive drugs. Then people on the other side who are suffering with the pain are in. So you never get any peace. And then, of course, the TVs there's no block, so the TVs are loud. If one guy needs to play it insanely loud. But these people charge as if you're getting a single room. You'd think the amount of money that these places are charging Medicare and Medi-Cal, that you would have your own room. But no, they're just into processing more and more people to make more and more money. And they do it unsafely because you won't have the idea is on a breathing patient in a nursing home, I'm supposed to be able to hit the alarm and they're supposed to be there within fucking 5 to 10 minutes because I am a breathing patient. I have stopped breathing. The average nurse call at some of the places I was at, which, by the way, the state had to step in, was 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours after pushing the button to come get me. There's no way I would be alive if I had a breathing problem. I'd be dead. These systems charge you, and then what happens is when your insurance runs out, they start playing games. And this is where you need to be the advocate for your family members, because they try to convince you to allow them to sign your person up as a custodian. Yes, if you sign over them as a custodian, they can keep them in there and oh yeah, sure, not a problem. Custodian allows them to take every single penny that person makes to anything. It doesn't matter. I mean, no matter what it is, the entire check gets turned over to them. They control that person, and they decide when they want to end it. I went through this nightmare because I'm a paralegal, and I had to get my guardianship on my own because I was going to let them try to put a custodianship on my mother. So I had to fight that. That's a very nasty thing to have someone do, because once the custodian sets in, You become a custody of the ward. You belong to the state. And then in order to get that removed, you have to have a background check to make sure you're not a criminal or anything. And say that for some odd fucking reason you had a felony, and they could just at that point decide not to give you back your mother. Like, fuck you. This is the stuff people need to start paying attention to in this wonderful fuck you health system of ours here in California. These little games are the way they're playing with people right now going in. And the way I look at it, well, okay, if you want to start handing this shit the fuck out to everyone, then I'm going to start helping those people. I was told not to do this. I was literally told not to do this. I'm in a wheelchair, people. Okay, you understand? I can't get away from this. I can't walk away from him. I wanted this to be known because I couldn't walk away. I couldn't just like, yeah, I don't want to listen to you. I don't have to talk to you, motherfucker. No, I did have to talk to this motherfucker because it came up to me on my wheelchair and I couldn't get away from him, advising me that this wasn't a good idea for me to be stirring up trouble in the hospital, especially this time of COVID and shit. What's COVID, motherfucker? See, my problem is I came from the 1A community. Thank God. People like Ice Cold taught me my rights and my freedoms. So fuck you. You're not taking them from me. And you know what's even worse is what are you going to do to me? It's like I told the officer, what are you going to fucking do? I am on dialysis, you stupid fuck. I said, do you have any idea what you would be required to do with me being on dialysis? And because I have an open fissure, you can't just stick me in the cell with any other dick wipe. You have to put me in a private cell. You have to do the dialysis. You have to do all my medications and stuff because I'm literally dying. So it's not easy for them to arrest me. So their threats don't really play a big part. They don't. They really just fucking don't. I'm now to the point where I just want to go back and help these people, and I plan to. I plan to do that. So if anybody out there knows anybody, this is what you got to do, because I can help you get your test equipment. I can help you get your walkers. I can help you get your food. I mean, I'm not only will I want to get back into V for Vets, helping feed the homeless, but while I've been doing that, I've been finding food banks and stuff. And I want to not just help the vets, but fuck it now. I want to help the patients now anyway. So if you're out there and you need some of that shit done, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not telling you that I'm that, but I am someone who just went through the system, goes through the system, and may have some advice for you to help you out. Because really, seriously, some of the shit that they have done to me, like, here I am. I've got diagnosed from every hospital I've been to that my legs are completely fucked up. And yet the healthcare providers would not send a physical therapist out to me. Now, my friend Bellin here has been listening to this for over 3 years. First, they told my doctor that they had one. Then when I came to them not sending me anyone, they finally admitted they didn't. So then I had to get another company, and they did the same fucking thing. You got to understand, these people, and then I found out. This is how I found out. These companies get paid because now there's such a massive influx and stuff, and the money's getting tight. They start, instead of giving you an open book when you're one of those companies, the authorization to spend money, legal goes, okay, fine, we'll do this. We'll give you $2,000 allotment. And what they do is determine what the condition is and what kind of health care they need. We'll give you $2,000 worth of supplies for that, and we'll give you $30 worth of this for that. That is what they get to spend, but they're giving the money up front. So these places won't even order your fucking supplies. Their game is they come into your house and they look for previous supplies that were sent from the hospital and stuff. And they utilize those supplies, thus banking up the money and the supplies that they get from the state per your case per month. This is a money maker for them. Then they turn around and charge for those supplies. So this little game, I caught them the same way I caught the transport people with their stupid fucking little games, and why one group of people could pick me up and another group couldn't pick me up. It was impressive. This all boils down to one thing: fucking money. And once we understand this and stop with the conspiracy fucking bullshit, and you realize that these people are trying to fucking stick it in you like a motherfucker. They're not there to help you. So when you go into a hospital or when you go anywhere, you need to make sure you go with your family member. You need to protect your family members from these fucking money gouging pieces of shit. They are only interested in insurance. And when you go to an advanced nursing home, don't fall for the lovey-dovey approach. Don't fall for how nice they are. Bullshit. Call me, I'll tell you which ones not to go to. There's certain ones you do not want to go. They're not lovey-dovey about shit. They're cattle. You are cattle to them, and they're there to make money, and that's it. Their nurses suck. They don't come around and help you. You're left by yourself. It's a nightmare. I'm banned from 3 of them right now. I cannot go back to 3 of them. And one of them, well, it doesn't matter if they want me to go back or not. I got them fined because they were using refrigerators that were below state regulation. Well, too bad for them. I was a health food inspector. Fuck you, bitch. I got there and they were giving me sandwiches, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's ice on this. They were not using a commercial grade refrigerator, nor were they keeping it up to the proper temperature, and they were delivering sandwiches out to the immune compromised fucking patients at that hospital, and they were getting sick. Well, gee, I wonder why they were getting sick. Club ass dumb fools. So they got fined for that, and they didn't like me and would not renew my contract. Too fucking bad, man. Seriously, it's an advanced nursing care center. I told this guy it's not a goddamn mental hospital that I was sent to be locked up. I came here to get your help, and seriously. So yeah, and again, here's that theory, people. Let them know that they don't have to be your friends. Let them know right up front. Then just next time you get your doctor, say, doctor, I love you and all, no disrespect, but fuck you. You don't need to be my friend. I don't want you to be my friend. Stop fucking telling me you want to be my friend. That just lays into a lot of excuses you use for not doing your job. Instead, why don't you just be House? You ever watch that show House? Why don't you be a raging asshole and do your job? Ding, 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 ding. Fuck me. Why do I need to go to my sister to find shit out when you fucking dumb little bitch, I'm paying? This nonsense that you go through nowadays is because they're overworked. Because I couldn't figure out, well, how you take a Hippocratic oath, don't you? And yet you act like this. So when you go, you need to make sure of certain things. And if you need help, I'm here. I don't care. Hey, Myron. Sorry, I didn't see you come in, brother. Yeah, give it a call because I can help you with your paperwork and stuff. And remember what you got to do with your paperwork and stuff. And another thing, one of my biggest mistakes is not keeping together this, and because the paperwork becomes enormous. It just becomes absolutely out of control and enormous. One of the easiest ways that I wanted to do is take a photo of each one and then get rid of the papers and just store the photos. That way you have a copy of it, but you don't have to have the actual paper, because unless it's something highly important. But like I said, guys, this is all about just my medical rant. I wanted to come on to be able to rant it and say hi to anyone that wanted to come in and listen to it. Anyone that's really up to this kind of information, or you have any family members, like I said, because I've gone to these hospitals and the games they play with you when you get in there and stuff, and actually it's not really mistreatment, it's just that they're so busy. I mean, I used to think if you wanted to see something like that, what you just do is go. You can't though. You're not allowed to just do this, but you just walk down to the emergency room and watch what these people have to go through, and then get a better understanding of just why patient advocates are more of a godsend now than they were in the past, because people like me, I can help you through the system. Now, of course, we're not talking about your general person just going in there for a footache. Now, we're talking about what we call repeat offenders. It's just going to be, I visit the place quite a bit, so, I'm not, So what I'm going to be doing though every month along with these medical rants is because I want to keep updating if I'm doing any help with anyone out there in California. I'll be sure to like tell you guys what's going on with them. There is one person I'm in the process of trying to help, so we can see how that goes. But then I intend to do some more shows, but they're not going to be just me. You know, the medical rant one was me, but the other shows, if you guys want to keep looking, I mean, I don't know if anyone's even left in here, but it would be the KY and Bud show, which is going to be starting up soon. Like I said, it's been my health. I almost really didn't think I was coming back at all. I keep fighting it, but giving up would not be a solution, and I'm too close to having things go good again. So anyway, I'll put the link if anyone wants to come up. Of course, there's nobody here. That's why I'm offering the link. Should come up. Bell should come up. Yeah, that's who should come up. Bell should come up. Oh, look at that. I'm not even blue, Bell. You see that? I'm not even an officer. You see that? It's my own channel. I'm all black and what is it on there? Holy shit. All right, so is it just us right now? Yeah, it is. It's just me and you. Yeah. Oh no, it isn't. There's more now. So there's the link. Anyone wants to come up? Like I said, I do offer this help for anyone that needs it. I want to just get that out there so people know in case you really do need any when it comes to just their not only just the for like a indigent air tank. I mean, I'm not sure you all need air tanks, but this would go for any type of supplies and things that you may need and stuff. And I'm now really work close with a lot of these insurances, so I'm starting to learn them, so I can probably help with that as well because it's unfortunate that they have them set up the way they are. Molina, like for example, does certain things while IHEP does other things. Like if, for example, if you're leaning toward hearing aids and stuff, I hear IHEP is a lot better than Molina. You get authorizations a lot better on IHEP if you need hearing aids without having to pay for them. Whereas in Molina, you get them, but you have to pay a deductible or something. So the one guy I know that was we go over the differences because that's how I'm learning them. That's the one thing he did. He had to change over to get that. One in my case, I don't have hearing aids. That's not my big thing. But also, IHEP offers different ride companies to pick you up. Now, again, I brought that up earlier about the situation going on with the ride vehicles. Now, here's that little con game, just so you don't understand. They get paid as a company to come pick you up, but then these companies can't guarantee when they get these contracts, they have to guarantee it. So what they do is they reach out to independent drivers and they tell each independent driver, okay, here's the deal. You can come work for us as an independent and we'll pay you X amount of money per delivery. Now, each of these deliveries increase depending on what they are. For example, if you are picking up a person in a wheelchair, and these are not the amounts, I'm just going to use these amounts. If you're just picking up somebody in a wheelchair, 25. If you're picking up somebody with a wheelchair that needs oxygen, 50. If you're picking up somebody um, that cannot get out of the wheelchair and into your thing, or no, wait. You're calling someone that needs a gurney. You can't walk. You can't get in a wheelchair. The gurney. Then that's $100. If the gurney needs the air, that's $150. All right, so you got to understand the independent driver, the guy out there who's getting paid per drive. He's at one end of the spectrum. On my 11 o'clock appointment starts, so he's got to pick me up and take me. I'm a wheelchair assist with air, so that's only 50 for him. But someone on the other place needs a gurney. That's going to get him $150. So they'll start going for the gurney rides and stuff and leaving you stranded. See, the problem though is that when dialysis is such a massive moneymaker, and which is why the reason why I told you exactly how much it was, so you'd understand the con game going on here. You cannot afford. It's not like a Tupperware party meeting. You have to go. If I don't go, I'm in the emergency room. The poison kills me, and I drowned in my own liquids because I cannot. I have renal failure. So I need to go 3 days a week. Now they're working on it right now, which, by the way, is the other thing that I can help anybody else who's now found themselves in the uncanny position of having to go on dialysis. A new patient, I can help you get your shit set up now because I'm just now going through it. To get the thing put in my arm out of my because right now they put a temporary one when you're raced into the emergency room when you're drowning. They have to do extreme measures to stop you from dying. So they shove these cords in you. One goes to your heart, the other goes into your jugular vein. And they do an emergency dialysis. Well, this fissure is supposed to only stay there for 4 months because, see, the problem is your heart's an adaptive organ. It will grow itself around whatever's around it. So you don't want to doing that with these things that are in you. Mine, only supposed to. So 4 months is what they call the beginning of the safe zone. I'm at 8, and the reason being is because of all the nonsensical and ridiculous procedures that you have to go through to get it put in your arm. You have to go to a mapping. You have to go get mapped, so they know exactly where all your blood veins are because they're going to be sticking cords through your arm veins into your heart. So they have to map you. Then you have to go to a stress test, which is the liquid one for your heart, to make sure it can take such an operation of removal and insert. Then you have to go and you have to make sure everything. You just all these different tests you have to do to get so it can go into your arm. So there's no way that they can sit here and just not understand the gravity of this situation. So now dialysis is such a highly big moneymaker, even though they now, and I know this for a fact, guys, I know, say whatever you want, but they now have an artificial kidney. They're not going to release it because of these dialysis centers. I'm not kidding you. The massive amount of money that they get at these places. $11,875 every time I sit in a chair 3 times a week, 4 weeks in a month. Each of these chairs in that room is filled up. You have to have by appointment only. Each chair is calibrated to the computer next to it. So you end up going to that same chair every time because the computer is calibrated only by the doctor by state law because that's what regulates the chemicals and stuff being removed from you and put into you. So you get a certain amount of a window of time. You have to be there because they keep that thing going 4 times a day. They only close for 2 hours. And that's to do a computer update or a compression and restart again. After that, they're back at it because of the money they're making. So, I mean, you can just imagine, guys. These guys in these wheelchairs, I don't care if you don't make your $50. Why is that my problem? I told him. It's you're an independent. That's not my problem. I did not call you. I called the company to come get me. So they don't get you there on time. You don't get your treatment. And I have several times ended up in the emergency room because of it. Literally ended up in the emergency room almost dead. Trying to wait till the next day to make a makeup appointment, what they call a puff appointment. And because that's the other thing you got to understand. Doing dialysis is very invasive. That's why they want you to get the treatment done in your arm and done at home. Home dialysis is a lot more safe, honestly, believe it or not, than going into a dialysis center because the dialysis center, and that's why even emergency rooms are, because the emergency room can do more, right? Because each level increases your risk of a heart attack or a stroke. So that the home one is not as invasive as the one you go 3 times a week, which they don't. That's why you have to go the same days every week. They remove X amount 3 times a week. Your body adapts to that, so you just can't keep changing it because remember you're removing all You're removing all the bad fluids and stuff from you. And it's exhausting. It wears me out. It makes me nauseous. It makes me cramp up. But, so these people, when they're driving, they left me sitting out there for 3.5 hours. I had to wait for someone to come pick me up. But as I go, they're getting madder and madder because when they first started with me, I was in a gurney. Then I was in full wheelchair. Now I have a walker, people. I have a walker. And now that I got my indigent, my POC, my breathing unit that I can flip over my shoulder, I can walk. Now, mind you, it hurts. It's a lot. It's painful, but I can walk. That's just because I haven't used my legs in so long, and of course because of all right. I had an infection because of my infections in my legs and stuff. They spread, and that's how sick I was. I got gangrene on the bottom of my foot. All right, so the toe should be amputated, but they can't because of the bad blood flow in my foot. So it's hard for me to walk around, but I can still walk. So you're going to be seeing me out there feeding the homeless. You will soon. Whether it be with the church that I've been talking to and sitting down with them, or with I'm still working with the catering unit because I haven't been able to do that because, again, can't get out. Couldn't get out. So I can't get out, so I'm not going to. The catering unit's already set. They're going to show up, and we're going to give free food to people off the catering unit, cooked as they come up. We're going to go and hand out these free food passes, or not hand them out, but they're going to get vouchers. But anyway, so the other things, like I said, I'll be doing more shows with KY, hopefully coming up here, and tell them I was doing today's show because really I didn't realize what level of bitching or if anyone was even going to fucking come because it's just me venting. Quite frankly, I'm just so fucking pissed right now at the medical industry. I figured I'd just put this up anyway, just like having a little documentary, up stupid fuck the people of what I've had to go on through. And just guys can't even believe the paperwork I get. It's insane. It's literally insane, but hey. Yep. So I mean, it's you guys. It's anyone coming in like Myron. Thank you for coming, Myron. I stopped at your show, man. You're gonna start seeing me more, man. It's just that my health was really fucked. I really didn't want to admit it, but shit, but hey, I figured that it caught me off guard. It really did. But I believe the Lord's gonna make this work out for me. I really do. I'm still able to come on here and do live shows and get anyone to show up. The fact that anyone comes shows that I still have a chance to get out there and still be able to maybe salvage some things, and because I haven't seen you guys in a long time, and I understand, but it's that I just been shit. That caught me off guard getting that sick. It's impressive, isn't it, guys? One day I'm out feeding the homeless, and next just hoping it was going to be like temporary. You know what I'm saying? But no. So now I'm back on the healing trail. Every day I get better, which is the truth. Like I said, I can walk. Before it was 5-6 steps, and I was very happy about that. Now this is a full-on walk. Now it's just pain. Now it's just exercising. Every day I have to do my leg squats and stuff to build up the strength of my legs so it doesn't hurt as much. But that's fine. It's been years. I was on my back for years. I did not walk for over 3 years. I did not walk, so I'm very happy with what I'm doing now. Like, a little bit impatient though, mind you, I'm very impatient. I'm spaz. As any of my friends can really tell you that I'm not one for sitting around. Yeah, it cut me off again. Yeah, I don't love my internet here, guys. I don't know. I think it's because they had to. It's not really hooked up by the cable company. See, This is like a I'm way in the back where they used to have the tack house. They converted into an single bedroom apartment back here. A big bungalow. So they dragged the wire across the backyard. You know. But mind you, it's not on the actual grass, but didn't take the 5 minutes to dig a little trench and put it in PCP snow. Just kind of like hung it over the fucking bushes and shit. It works. It works. I'm here. So yeah, so it's good to see you guys. And like I said, I will be doing a fewer things. I'm working on some ideas for just the Bud Grower show. You know, I have one couple things I was going to. I'm working on my stand up. I'm trying to get my plants going, and you know, hopefully we'll have a lot more content like that. Right now, I want to come on and talk about the medical and the fact that I will be a patient's advocate now. I plan to do that, and like if that worked out nice, it would be if we could have someone that out here that we're helping, because it doesn't matter who, no matter what you need. It's not 100%. I don't know everything, but anything that I've gone through personally that I have access to are some of the people that I talk to on the phones and stuff because I call a lot of people. I have a lot of time. Whereas a lot of people don't have that time. I do because I still cannot get up and work. I actually talked to a lady in I know, but I don't care. I talked to a lady in Jack in the Box yesterday, the regional manager. She had see we were just I was she sees us go in there. And I told her, well, I'm just now starting to stand up and walk and blah blah. Well, they have a program there where they hire disabled Americans or whatever. It's like a door greeter, a greeter, someone that then they were just starting to think about hiring somebody again. So that might be something I could do. You know what I'm saying? Just like a basic greeter at a restaurant, like a McDonald's or something, or a Walmart. The bag checkers on the way in and out. Me, I don't care. I don't give a flying. I'm a salesperson. I can do sales. I'm gonna be doing that, my own little side things. But job wise, I don't care. I really just money's money, man. I don't need a lot. I'm not a needy person, people. Like I said, my what I do is I go out and feed the homeless, so I don't need to dress up. This guy once told me, he goes, "Oh, you almost look like you're homeless." Well, so what? Hey, look, I'll tell you what. Hey, I these are comfortable. If you have something you want me to wear that you want to buy, by all means, I'll put it on. But until then, shut the fuck up. I don't give a shit. I look homeless, motherfucker. I don't have a problem with that. I got seats like I want to help the homeless. Why would I give a fuck if I look like the homeless? Hell, do I care. It's like, so I need your approval of what I look like. Anyway, so then that's the other thing. Programs like that, which I'm trying to exclusively set up for our homeless thing. Um, because a lot of people you meet in these hospitals are damn near homeless to begin with and don't have a lot of money for anything. But yeah, I got the way I wanted to approach this is we were talking to like I said, I don't know if there's just me and you, Bill, but maybe Myron. I think he just commented a little about you, Myron. Um, I got I got this place that they have all these clothes, different sizes and shit, and they just want to unload them. Well, we can't go out and distribute clothes, dude. To the homeless. No, the only way to do that is to put up tables and stuff, and you just go down and say free clothes for the homeless, right? I mean, that's a cool thing to do, but that's more like a church. So my idea was to go ahead and get those pallets of clothes like that, and then donate them with the church and go with the church and go out there. But that's when I was saying we should get a banner or something. But this way I can distribute more items because the other place you go and look for things, people, is on the free. If they put these free items, they are putting free shit up. I always go through there and try to find things I could give to the homeless, because there's always a lot of good things. There'll be people giving away tents and stuff, dude. And yeah, I understand the tents aren't waterproof. You know this. Anybody knows that. But I don't need a fucking tent. So I can take that tent and I can hand it to the homeless. That's exactly what the fuck I'm going to do. It's like right now I have wheelchairs. I just need somebody to pop the rubber seal around the tire, and I'm perfectly good in wheelchair. You give out brakes work, the wheels work, everything's fine. This little plastic thing came off. It's no big deal. You put that out and pass that out to the homeless and start giving things like that out. There are so many resources if I could just fucking walk. This is it, which is I'm getting at. Oh, I'm getting there. See, people like give up, and I'm not. I'm almost there because a lot of this requires going around and transporting. So I've been working on trying to get resources of people that would help me out with things like that. Convincing these guys, like there's this guy that puts these things up all the time. Now, mind you, the first thing he put up there was a pallet of hand sanitizers. Now, I don't know if you guys understand how the hand sanitizer game works. Hand sanitizers expire. After they expire, the chemical breaks down and it becomes just liquid. So, when you're on there buying stuff for the homeless and stuff, you can buy pallets of these things, right? Like soap, and all that shit. You got to make sure you check the expiration dates because you can get them for 5 cents each. You're thinking, wow. And come to find out they're useless. I don't even know what you could use them for at that point. So basically, that's what one of the things. So now, mind you, any of these things that we could donate, we have plenty of room for. We will distribute them. So basically, what Beef for Vets is becoming a little bit of is what I'm getting at is distributors. We will facilitate items, bigger items, since we don't have the manpower to do that as much as I want. Then I don't have to give up giving these things out because I get some fools coming up to me offering me a pallet of shit. And I'm all like, well, I can't do anything with a fucking pallet of shit. I mean, honestly, right in my condition right now, I couldn't do anything with it. But however, if you, I've got churches out there. A couple people work for the church, and they go out and they do the homeless thing. Then there's the high schools. A lot of high schools would like to do charity work for their football teams to make them look good, to raise money for their cause. So you could sponsor something like that. and they could help you pass out shoes and stuff. Now, mind you, that would require finding a location where a lot of homeless people hang out, which is usually, which is where I'm leading to with this, which is highly suggestive that we may have to go to downtown LA, and that and where the fun starts, which I don't have a problem dealing with it, to be honest with you. It's a lot more dangerous than what we've ever attempted to do, because of how that area down there and what we've been told. But I really, really was a lot of, you can do so much. Now, one of the things that we were really wanting to specialize in, which we're not going to give up, which is I've got to find someone to help me out with this, is driving around. We called it ninja feeding. We go to find the individual ones because they're the ones that are hurt the most people. We met a lot of good people going out those times I did with, and who were just there by themselves, one or two people, and they were away from the big groups. They weren't near the fooderies. They weren't near the places that most of them hung out, and a lot of people would drop things off. They're all by themselves. They're either afraid, isolated, and we've heard a lot of different stories on how they were chased away. They were, raped. In the heights, they wouldn't be raped like the woman we helped. Gave her water. But that's on film. I mean, yeah, Bill, you come up. We'll do it backstage after I'm done. So I'm to the point where I want to get my show back up, and I wanted to come out and let everyone know this is the first notice. You'll start seeing these shows more often. Now, mind you, there'll probably be just little tidbits or stuff, but if I do get the people and it starts taking off a little more, I will start doing more information on medical stuff. And if you guys need help filling out paperwork, or if you're having problems getting something, you never know. I may be able to help you. May be able to help. I've found that I've been able to help a few people out with stuff they're going through, and now that I've had to go through this stuff and I understand with the drivers, the games they play, I can help you avoid the nonsense like that. And like I said, I can help you understand that there are differences between Molina and them. I'm starting to get all that down so that if you have a specific need, then you understand that this Molina does this while IHEP does that. Because you get reps who represent the companies telling you what you should get. I'm trying to make it so I can give you an easier understanding what you should pick for what health you need and not what the fuck they want you to have. Because quite frankly, guys, you don't care what they want. You need to take care of you. But anyway, that'll be the medical one. The other ones are going to be my stand-ups, my weed growing, and of course just general, which I want to get back to have general shows. But most of that stuff will be done on KY and Bud show. Because KY and that I have a lot more content like that. The Bud show will just basically probably be the what do you call it? Shit. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. Well, those, like I said, me and KY will be doing ours. I appreciate y'all coming in. I was only going to go for about an hour. I didn't really think anyone would show, so I'm very happy that you guys did. Like I said, I just wanted to get this out there. If anyone does want that medical stuff, but look for some other shows with different contents. Like I said, I'm not turning into a medical channel. I just had a medical rant. All right, guys. Thank you for coming.